My little quick lesson from Simon.
Come on, Byron.
Is this right? Why does this look so funny? That's because you've got it around the other way that you're I was like, what the hell's happening? Like,
What do you want me to do?
Can you stand in front?
thank you.
I quit.
What are you going to do now?
Yeah,
I've been talking to the back bench and they want.
Yeah.
Jerry, who are you supporting for deputy? Have you said?
Jerry for deputy.
I really need to know who's
Oh, no, we see with the classic science.
and I'll flash up this one.
He did say mine.
Okay, Jamie, flashing.
You're right there, Tara. So he'll be here. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hello. Good day. Hello. Hello.
Have you got something to tell us?
Just a heads up for Sam coming.
Is it my phone? It's your phone. On my pocket. Are you standing for legal of the national code? You don't need a phone anyway. Here's mine. And maybe with you saying he can stand as well after this. That's all right, because Andrew and I both made them, so
I'll be talking about this level, blah, 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 with my vocal fry.
Oh, it's the same thing. Yeah. It's the same thing. Look.
Jonathan doing what? Pulling out of the leadership race. Conceding.
His surprise.
I've lost without my phone.
Testing 1 2 1 2 1 2. Hello, hello. Got us? How's that sounding? Hello. You're rolling? He's not far away now.
No. I'll try. I don't want to mess with you with the phone. How's that?
He's standing. Next one. Standing for leader, she's coming.
Remember what happened last time, Barry? Nothing matter.
There's the new leadership contender. Look,
Here he comes.
it is.
I'm not even the big man after last time's exercise. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's been a heck of a week. I have just been up to congratulate the next Prime Minister of New Zealand, Bill English. We had a really good chat, and I think he is going to make a very fine Prime Minister of New Zealand. I'm going to be supporting him 100% because it's absolutely vital that the party comes together, gets on with the job of winning the next election, which I believe we will win, and then supports Bill as Prime Minister through a fourth term, and then beyond that to the election in 2020. So that's pretty much what I've got to say. Very happy to take any questions you might have.
How disappointed are you?
I'm not actually disappointed because I believe in life, if you're going to win, you've got to be prepared for the alternative result. And, I'm very happy with how, in the end, I'm going to be coming out of this. Obviously, I would have loved to have been the leader, and I was in there pursuing that result. But, all things considered, I think we've got a great result for the party. And look, one of the most important things is actually the party is completely unified. We're going ahead together, and Labour and the Greens should be very, very frightened.
So did you realise the numbers were against you, obviously?
Oh, look, in the end, we could see the way that was going, but I wasn't just going to be going up to concede because someone says to me, hey, have you seen what's on Kiwi Blog or whatever? So, look, I think it's very important that, my colleagues can just get on with their work, and Bill can prepare for being Prime Minister. It's going to be a huge week for him next week, and we can get on with tidying up work before Christmas and then going into what's going to be a really busy year.
Do you expect to have a place in that cabinet?
Minister?
What's that?
Do you expect to have a place in the new cabinet?
Well, that's for Bill, but yes, absolutely.
Would you like
Did
to
you
be
put your name
deputy?
forward for deputy? Yeah.
What's that?
Did you put your name forward?
Not
for deputy?
considering that at this stage yet.
Who do you back for deputy?
I'm not going to endorse either person.
How
Yep,
many?
I think they would both be great.
How much support do you think you've had at your peak?
Oh, I'm not going to put numbers on it, but look, I got very good feedback right across caucus through the process, and good messages about just for reasons of continuity and stability, people felt Bill was the right person, and that was the will of caucus in the end. And look, I can totally live with that. Haven't lost any friends over it, and feeling really good about it actually, and very relaxed.
Are
Do
you
you want to stay
disappointed
out
it didn't play out
would you
till
like
Monday?
another portfolio?
Look, that's up to Bill English. I really enjoy the health portfolio, and we've still got things to achieve in it. If I'm doing health, definitely want to be doing sport, but hey, that's up to the Prime Minister.
Are you,
So let's see.
are you disappointed the race didn't play out till Monday?
No, not really. I think actually all three of us, are going to have a great weekend actually. So look, we didn't bring this to a close prematurely, so being a bit flippant about that. But look, the point is these things run their course. It was clear where the caucus were at, and actually it gets to the stage where this is the time to make this announcement, and so I'm very comfortable with it.
Any regrets about flagging or saying you didn't think tax cuts were a goer yet?
No, that's still my view. No regrets. And look, I think what's going to come out of this is going to be good for the party and for the caucus. We had to have some of these discussions, which would never have taken place if I hadn't kicked off that race on Monday and raised these issues. And I think you're going to find that there's going to be far wider discussion on key strategic issues with the caucus. Things will have to be up for debate. But the essential thing is we are going to maintain the best out of the John Key years going forward, but we've got to build on that with new ideas and use all the skills right across the caucus. So, I think this has actually been extremely healthy rather than if Bill had gone in with an uncontested election. So I would have done exactly the same again, if you had the last few days again, knowing the result now, I think our team is much stronger for it, and we're going to be in a far better place to win the election next year.
To clarify, you are against tax cuts?
Oh, look, what I'm saying is there have to be priorities to be properly funded around health, education and infrastructure, and if there's money left over, tax cuts at the end of that.
Jonathan Coleman, you've said that you started this process to have some discussions about change, rejuvenation, and some of those discussions. What will be the benchmark for whether that is happening for you?
Well, look, I think Bill will have to clearly demonstrate to his caucus what change means, and there's some real expectations around that, and they would have not been satisfied or those discussions wouldn't even be starting if I hadn't come into this race. So that's up to Bill as the Prime Minister. But people will be expecting to see rejuvenation going into the next election, no question about it.
What's the benchmark for real change?
What's that?
What is the benchmark for real change?
Oh, look, I'm not going to critique that, but look, we've got to be fresh. It's got to be more than just a new Prime Minister. It can't be the John Key government without John Key.
Has Bill English received that message, do you think? What has he said to you about
I'm not going to disclose the private contents of our discussion, but I think you'll find that the caucus and the team is much stronger for what's gone on over the last few days, and I want to stress we're totally unified. I'm totally behind Bill, but we're going to go into next year with a great policy platform. I'm sure it's going to be innovative, and this is going to stimulate discussion about what that policy platform looks like. And I believe we've got to have fresh faces coming up through the ranks.
Are you worried that if Lavina becomes deputy, then your top three are very similar to what is the top five at the moment, and that there won't be that rejuvenation in there?
Look, I'm not worried about anything, to be honest with you. We've got to demonstrate rejuvenation. There's lots of different ways of doing that. And look, I think either Paula or Simon would make an excellent Deputy Prime Minister.
Wouldn't signal rejuvenation at all, would it?
Well, that's really up to the new Prime Minister to signal how he transmits that to the caucus, but most importantly to the wider voting public.
Did you have any discussion with Bill English about possible roles for you in the Cabinet?
Oh, look, I'm pretty relaxed about where I am now, but I certainly expect to be, a part of discussions in a way that I can help Bill and represent some of those issues that we've brought up through, this leadership race over the last few days.
So you would expect you would like to carry on as Health Minister? Is that
Well,
what you
I'll
conveyed
be
to
interested to hear what Bill has to say. Look, I mean, it's not about me, it's actually about Bill becoming Prime Minister.
But your
But
concession
certainly,
has delivered him, delivered him the Prime Ministership. So was there any quid pro quo? Did
well,
you
I'm
have
not
any
going to.
discussion
I'm not going to
about-
get into that, because it was a private discussion. Yeah, but look, I expect, as I said to Bill, I'm not doing this to go down in the world. I expect to be taking an active part in discussions about the future direction of the government. And look, portfolios are an important part of that, but that's not the most important thing. It's about the policy platform we have going into 2017.
What are
You
your
said if you
thoughts on
stay
an
on as
early
health
election?
minister,
Sorry?
you said if you stay on as health minister, you want to make sure you're sports minister as well. Did you make that clear to Bill English?
No, look, that's, I mean, look, the sport's the fun side, and I mean, obviously we get some good stuff done in that, linking that to health, but look, I'm not actually fixated on what portfolios I have, and that wasn't the thrust of the discussion. The discussion was actually about, Bill, I've got huge respect for you, we're going to work well together, I'm going to give you all the support that you need going into 2017. There's no way I'm going to do a cunt lift to golf to you. That's the thrust that we are right behind each other.
What are your thoughts on an early election? Do you think it's necessary?
No, I don't, but, election dates are a matter for the Prime Minister.
Do you still want to be Prime Minister one day?
Oh, look, I've signalled an obvious aspiration around that, but look, life circumstances change, political circumstances change. I wouldn't have gone into this race if I didn't want to be Prime Minister, but actually I'm going to be supporting Bill 100% to make him the most successful Prime Minister we can possibly have, because that's what the country needs, it's certainly what our party needs.
If he doesn't show that he is committed to real change, will you still support him?
Yeah, look, I support Bill, and look, we've had some private discussions, but, out of this process, it's been healthy in that it sets some expectations for the next leader, whoever that might have been. Now we know it's going to be Bill, and look, we're going to be in a great position to win the next election. It's really important for the country that we do, and I totally support Bill. I think he's going to make a great Prime Minister.
What about your backers? Do they think that Bill is committed to real change? Are they just going to go away and say...
Look, I wouldn't get hung up on too much on this, what real change, what's change look like. What we're saying is really you can't have a John Key government without John Key keep on doing the same stuff with the same lineup. I'm sure there will be progress, and I'm sure we'll have a great lineup and policy platform going into 2017, and that's going to be vital if we're going to win. Jane?
But you seem to be saying that if you hadn't forced the issue, then the current cabinet would have locked down the possibility of having debate, having change, having rejuvenation. You seem to be taking credit for forcing change. Is that what you mean to say?
Well, look, when the Prime Minister, John Key, made that decision to retire and then endorse Bill, it was, pretty much going to be business as usual. And I felt strongly, as soon as the Prime Minister told me, that we had to have a competition to really bring some of these issues out for discussion amongst the caucus, because otherwise it would have been everyone moving up one slot, John moving out. Nothing would have changed. Look, it's been a formula that's worked well, but politically you have to keep on refreshing yourselves, both in terms of lineup and policy. And if you're going to get the policy coming through, you've got to have a process to generate that. And you've got to actually use some very able people we've got right across the caucus. So, I definitely think that Judith and I taking part in this race has really brought those issues up, and I think that will be reflected in what happens once Bill's Prime Minister. And look, I think it's going to help him be an excellent Prime Minister. Okay, well, thanks very much, everybody. Cheers. Thank you.